morning to all the participants. We are now at the UiTM Council of Professors Webinar Series 3 in 2021. And this is Teaching and Learning in Times of COVID-19. What has not changed will be the title for the webinar. Just a friendly reminder or a friendly briefing on the Code of Conduct in the UiTM Council of Professors webinar series. First of all, I think listed there are some of the code of conduct that we expect the participants to abide with. Firstly, the attire should be professional and smart attire. Yeah, as Prof. Amjid might have said, he wore a very nice dark color turban today, right? And we will maintain the timeliness. Yeah, all the panelists must be punctual. Also, if there are any questions from the participants, we expect the participants to abide with the time given. And please mute the microphone when not speaking, as not to interrupt the whole webinar series, and also the speakers or maybe the sessions that has been going on. Okay, and then remain seated throughout the webinar. I know if you would like to go and stand up, I think it's better for you to just stop the video for a while. Yeah, but we would encourage that we switch on the video as to give some encouragement to the speakers that these are the participants who are following their forum. Yeah. And if there are any questions, and we expect there are lots and lots of questions and comments, please leave the comments and questions in the pigeonhole provided. The link will be sent through the chat message by the Secretariat. Yeah, so I guess these are the code of conducts when we are at the webinar series conducted by the UiTM Councils of Professors. Okay, and we are happy to announce here that we have some students joining the webinars. Yeah, not only the professors, and we are expecting that since this webinar is also channeled through YouTube channel, we expect that there will be some public members that will be following the webinar. Okay, with that, I thank you. And for those who are going to give or to send any questions or comments, go through the pigeonhole, and the password is Professor 456, all capital letters, and or you can scan the QR code for you to enter the pigeonhole. Okay. And as been told or discussed before, we would like to make this webinar a dual language, meaning that it will not be conducted in English all the time, though the main language will be in English, but you are welcome to ask in Malay, or if there is any discussion that requires the student to ask in Malay rather than English, we welcome that also. Okay, that's all for the code of conduct. Yeah, Bob?
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Welcome. Kalau ada music bagus, Bob mainkan. We can say like dalam mas. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all the participants. Yang berbahagia Profesor T.S. Dr. Hajar Rozia Muhammad Jano, Vice Chancellor Universiti Teknologi Mara. Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Ahmad Sazali Hamzah, Chairman Council of Professors UiTM, Professors, Lecturers dan yang dikasihi para pelajar, students and participants. Welcome to the UiTM Council of Professors Webinar Series 3 in 2021. This webinar is initiated by the Teaching and Learning Committee, UiTM Councils of Professors. And the title for this webinar is Teaching and Learning in Times of COVID-19, What Has Not Changed? And we have three esteemed panelists and also two very proactive students representative. And our panelists are Professor Dr. Hajar Nur Aziah alias, Professor Dr. Pamjit Singh, Professor T.S. Dr. Nur Hayati Saad. The Students Representative Councils are Muhammad Hafizuddin Muhammad Faizal, Muhammad Amul Akram Khairullah, difficult name to pronounce, sorry, Akram. And we are happy today to have Prof. VC to grace this function. To start with, let me read this pantun specially made while waiting for Prof. VC. In Malay, Prof. I have not have the talent yet to write a pantun in English. Okay. Okay. Webinar dirancang dengan teliti. AJK sungguh berdedikasi. Majlis pagi ini tidak lengkap dan tanpa seri kalau tiada scene setting dari Prof. VC. With that, we would like to welcome Yang Berbahagia Prof. TS Dr. Hajah Rozia Muhammad Jano, Vice Chancellor UiTM, to give her opening speech. Sila, Prof.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ariani. My Dean. All right. She has a pantun, but I don't have one. But it's okay. The only pantun that I can recall is dua tiga kucing berlari. Mana nak sama kucing belang. Dua tiga boleh cari mana nak sama korang semua orang. Alright. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very good morning to my whole UiTM family. Yang berbahagia Professor Dr. Ahmad Sazali Hamzah. Ada ke dia ni? Is he around? Okay, can't see him in the panel. Okay. Ada. Okay, right. Chairman Council of Professors, UiTM, and the rest. So minta maaf, I came in late because there was a session on strategic planning for my office. Okay, PTJ di bawah pejabat Naib Chancellor. So we want to set it right. So minta maaf tadi late by about 20 minutes. We are gathered here once again for the third webinar series organized by the UiTM Council of Professors. Okay, so this council has an important advisory role to strengthen UiTM strategic direction for academic, research and innovation components as well as UiTM's external relations. So ada tiga tu ya, three important role of this Council of Professors. Today's webinar series organized by the Council's Teaching and Learning Committee entitled Teaching and Learning in Times of COVID-19, What Has Not Changed is most apt. Okay, basically there's a different twist of what we're looking at. This must be Prof. Paramjit's idea, right? Looking at it from the other angle. I like that. These are always the important things. We have to have some people who like to look at it from another angle. So thank you, Prof. Paramjit. So the focus is not on what has changed, but rather what has not changed despite the COVID-19 pandemic that is upon us. I'm certainly looking forward to hearing what our esteemed professors have to say about this. And I'm also pleased to know that our student representatives, or better known as Majlis Perwakilan Pelajar and PP, are involved in today's webinar. Thank you, Hafizuddin and Akmal, right? In an era of increased accountability and measured student outcomes, student voice represents growing movement in education. The approach to learning is no longer simply top-down, instructor-directed. Instead, students play an increasingly active and equal role in planning, learning, and leading classroom instructions, as well as contributing to the development of institutional practices and policies. So this significant philosophical shift requires all stakeholders to embrace the belief that there is something to learn from every individual, regardless of age, academic background, or other qualifying factors. Therefore, dear professors and student representatives, how and in what way can COVID-19 teach us about strengthening our education system? In the context of teaching and learning, what indeed has not changed during this pandemic? Hence, I'm hopeful that the discussion, this topic ignites will influence the extent and quality of pedagogical practices for all students and instructors in UiTM. With that, I wish to extend my congratulations to UiTM Council of Professors, Organizing Committee for hosting this webinar. To everyone participating in today's event, may you have a fruitful this session. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Over to you, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Prof. VC, thank you very much for the scene setting. We appreciate it very much as you have lead us to the webinar already. Now, kalau ada pantun kepada Prof. VC, I think tidak adil kalau tiada pantun kepada Chairman for the Majlis Professor UiTM. Yeah? Jadi untuk Prof. Sazali, this is my pantun. I hope it rhymes. Yeah? Majlis Profesor aktif beraktiviti bagi mendukung kecemerlangan universiti. Scene setting Prof. VC kami hayati. Kata-kata aluan pengurusi Majlis Profesor kita nanti-nanti. Jadi dipersilakan Prof. Ahmad Sazali sebagai pengerusi Majlis Profesor UiTM untuk memberikan sedikit kata-kata aluan. Sila Prof.
Okey, terima kasih. Nanti saya cuba pantun dalam bahasa Inggeris tapi tak pandai lagi. Okey, yang bahagia Profesor Rozia, Naib Chancellor UiTM, thank you Prof Haryani, Profesor Pamjid, Chairman kita ni, very active. I think this is one step lah. After this will be a lot more engagement with the students especially. I think we need to get input from them. It's very important for us so that the learning process will move smoothly lah. I think that's very important, especially during these pandemic times. Thank you to all the panels, Puan Razia, Puan IT, Saudara Hafiz, Saudara Akram, ni semua ni yang penting-penting ni. Saya rasa terima kasihlah kerana dapat join kita ni. Saya rasa input daripada pelajar sangat penting this time around, Puan Razia. So basically try to orang kata be frank lah kepada Hafiz dengan ni, MPP punya presiden ni. Cerita apa pengalaman, apa yang boleh dibuat, apa yang UiTM boleh bantu, apa yang pensyarah boleh orang kata bantu dan sebagainya. I think it's very important. Tidak nanti kita asyik assume macam-macam aja. I think communication ni penting untuk kita semua. Okey, saya rasa tu aja Prof Haryani tak mau banyak-banyak. Saya ada persyarat lain ni Prof Rozia. I kena join dengan JICA after this. So I hope sampai satu saya akan dengar jugalah. Terima kasih kepada semua yang sudi hadir. I think we have more than 100 participants now. Others will join later insyaAllah. Okay, thank you Prof Hani. I pass to you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Prof. Sazali. I think kata-kata aluan stressing the importance of engagement between us and also the students. I think namely the professors today. Yeah, we are lucky to have the students. This is the direct engagement between the students and the professors, and I really hope that the objective of the webinar can be materialized. Yeah. Without further ado, I think the panelists are very excited already. I can see Prof. Pamjid, Prof. Azia, waiting like when to start. Let us start this webinar. Yeah. And again, the introduction of the panelists. I think we have first our very own Professor Dr. Haja Nur Aziah Alias. Yeah, I think she is very much synonym whenever we say academic affairs, UiTM, bahagian hal ehwal akademik, then her name will be on the top of the list. And this is like a love-hate relationship, yeah, between the BHEA. I think lecturers sometimes got so angry with BHEA, yeah, and sometimes they love BHEA so much for helping to facilitate the teaching and learning, especially during COVID-19. Our second panelist is Professor Dr. Pamjid Singh, yeah. I think needs no introduction. I think he has served a short stint at our faculty, Faculty of Computer Science and Computer and Mathematical Sciences, but then he's very passionate on teaching and learning. Yeah, as we mentioned by Prof. VC, Prof. Pamjit always think out of the box and have a different perspective from all of us. So we welcome Prof. Pamjit in this webinar, and I'm sure we can get a very good perspective from him. And our next panelist is Professor T.S. Dr. Nur Hayati Saad. I think this is a very fast-rising, sweet lady. I know, as we know, she is now the the assistant vice chancellor for strategy, yeah, orang muda, and I think she will give us very valuable values strategically on in this webinar. Okay, and I think the two students here, which are from the Student Representative Council, needs no extra introduction. I think they are very well groomed students, yeah, already, and we are very proud of them. The first one is Muhammad Hafizuddin Muhammad Faisal, though he is from the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, but he is here today to represent the voice of the students, UiTM students, yeah. And we have also Muhammad Akram. I takut salah sebut lagi Muhammad Akram, your middle name there. I think it's better for me to say Muhammad Akram Khairullah, yeah, who is also from the Faculty of Accountancy, but nevertheless, same as Muhammad Hafizuddin, he is representing the voice of the students today, yeah. And I am your moderator, Haryani from FSKM. Okay, without further ado, the first round of this forum will be some questions from the moderator, yeah, to the panelists, and we will start with who else if not Prof. Nur Azia Alias, yeah. Prof. Z, as she is fondly known, yeah. Prof. Z, pandemic COVID-19 has been there, and now they are saying that we are no longer in pandemic, we are moving to endemic things, yeah, sort of things. And we know that when COVID-19 hits us early last year, that's in February 2020, yeah, much of us are being in a situation like not knowing what to do. Then we know all these words start to come in: uncharted water, volatile, complex, yeah. But all these are hitting us, but BHEA, yeah, are the one, I think, which is most impacted, because you have to ensure the continuity of educating, especially in teaching and learning. So Prof. Z, to start with, could you please share with us, what are the action plan initiatives that has been done by BHEA, in order for us to ensure now not only the continuity of education now we are talking about, but also to ensure the quality of educating, yeah? Okay, pass to you, Prof. Z.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone, and thank you to the Majlis Professor Committee for inviting me for this session. Prof, to answer your question, I do believe I need to share some of the things that we have done. So if I may I share my screen? Okay, Bob, can you hear me tak?
Can, very clear.
All right, okay. When Prof Pamjit came up with the what has not changed, is like you said, he's my friend. I know him. He's always thinking away from the box. Actually, I think this guy has no box. Anyway, so when we want to talk about what has not changed, we at HEA, we also have to think about what has, and we have to think further what if. So what I'm going to show is what has not changed first before, and all those things in pink are basically what we have done. And I'm going to show what we have done for the last 1.5 years to combat, not really, to navigate the pandemic. So when we look at what has not changed, I think our mission vision has not changed. We all know that, right? Deep inside, we know that has not changed. But we found that we need to somehow state our educational objectives. So one of the things that we have had approval lately, not lately, recently, is our educational objective. So our lecturers and our students should know the UiTM educational objective. I'm going to show it in a bit. We have not changed our focal point. The learners are our mainstay. So with pandemic, we need to embrace the diversity, the different learning environment and so on. So at the academic affairs, we are thinking hard. We were thinking hard, and we came up with one of the recent plan is to push for universal design of learning. So that is another plan by HEA that we have put forward, and we are almost done. We already have the module and so on. We also must agree that our primary role as an educator has not changed. The students are our anak-anak. We need them to achieve their learning outcomes. We also have our statement of ethical principles for the lecturers. We have our DASA PMP. We hold on to outcome-based education. We have not changed that. And we agree that we need to pay attention to the student learning time. That has not changed, right? And in terms of quality and accreditation, we are still with MQA and MQF 2.0. We look at the quality of teaching and learning. We now formulate a 360-degree evaluation. We call it Teaching Effectiveness Index. We had the framework approved, but the instrument will be presented this week, inshallah. And of course, we have our plan, Education 5.0 at UiTM since 2019. We already have been talking about learning-centered ecosystem. We already have the 5 pillars. So that has not changed actually throughout the 1.5 years. In fact, it was before, and in fact for Education 5.0, the pandemic has actually enhanced it. So this is our educational objective for those who have not seen it. So we want to provide talent with competencies, including knowledge, and so forth, and social capital, and also talent that will catalyze social mobility in elevating the quality of life. Then we also have, before, as we move along, we did a lot of things, right? So one of the things that we did consistently was to check on the student ODL experience. So this is a lot of data. I want to share this. This is basically what happened in May 2020, December 2020, and July 2021. So we noticed changes. We see a decrease in students having very difficult times navigating the pandemic. But in July 2021, we saw an increase here, whereas it has gone down in December 2020. And we see that the students who are having a good time, basically having the time of their life with ODL, actually increase here, but it decreases here and it decreases here. So we need to understand what happened here and here. So we do this a lot, and we check, and we analyze the feedback. Let me tell the students, don't feel that we don't do anything with all the data. So because of that, I have to show what we have done. We have to mention what has changed, other than what has not changed. We know the way students learn has changed. The students' learning environment has changed. We don't think of online only. We look at the hybrid, blend, and ODL trio, so that when you come back, you will be doing this permutation of hybrid, blending, and also ODL. We have lecturers actually calling students on the phone to teach throughout the past 1.5 years. We know students' responsibilities has changed. We know how students have to work to support their family and so on. We came up with what we call ODL notes, and also our Pelan Tindakan ODL. we talk about, we now look at stress management and we work with HCP on this. We have a mental well-being MOOC coming up, almost complete. We would like students to actually to register for that. And we also have a student happiness dashboard next semester, so that we can monitor the students' well-being. We also know that your career path, the students' linear career path is not going to be linear anymore when when we as we navigate the pandemic. So we need students to connect to the outside world, and that they must know they have to take extra credit to make learning complete. So we now have micro credentials. We talk about mobility across campus. They can also learn from another university, and we are coming up with a personalized learning experience program where students can learn outside the curriculum but on campus. So other than that, of course, we all know the delivery and assessment has somehow changed in terms of the mode, and is more technology based. So the more so we have to inject adab and amanah. So we come up with a ADAB model for the delivery of learning. So we also know that knowledge is doubling. Knowledge doubling, the rate of change is very fast. Students must know that and lecturers must know that. So that means not everything will happen in the classroom per se. So other than that, we know your skills of the skills of lecturers and students must be enhanced. So we have our virtual center for innovation, innovative delivery and learning development. We call it CIDL, when we got lots of collaborative group people who are working on TNL delivery without any reduction of teaching, without any allowance or anything. They work based on passion. That's all. Right, and we also have now our collaborative teaching framework, because we need people to work together on content, on delivery, on assessment, and so on. We also understand that technology and access is now more important than ever. So UFuture has gone on cloud, and we also have a very solid student signal search thanks to Prof. Haryani's FSKM staff and that the team that has worked on that. Right, so that has what we some of the things that we have done. So if you look at the academic policies and resources that we have education 5.0 document, we have DASA PMP, we have of course MQA advisory notes, we have one surat perkeliling that we still using because we need people to understand the alignment of assessment to outcome. We have model ADAB, we have garis panduan penlibatan ODL, we have garis panduan penyampaian dan pembelajaran secara face to face dan hybrid ODL. We've got plan tindakan ODL of late, we've got notes for ODL UiTM, we have policy pentaksiran dan penilaian. We also formulate TESA ODL, teaching self-evaluation of lecturers, because we want lecturers themselves to reflect and evaluate themselves. We've got kerangka pengajaran collaborative. We've got pembangunan bahan ODL that goes into K2 now. And we've got policy penyampaian fleksibel all this while since 2018. We have the statement of ethical principles for lecturers since 2018, still using it. And we do a lot of adjustment to on the calendar so that we can make sure our students will have a good learning experience. So of course, we've got all the portals and websites on, Prof. Right? So yeah, this is a basic run of the ADAB model. Of course, we are going to launch it, and the notes for your ODL at UiTM. This is basically a 7-point note that we developed after 1.5 years to help the lecturers. And these are the collaborative groups that's already on active. We have the one in red are the new ones. So students should know that your lecturers are actually learning a lot from CIDL. If you go to the UiTM email, every day you will see a CIDL webinar. And we have things like global learning, CG, so collaborative group, who has worked a lot with campuses and also with faculties, with over 31 experts from 31 countries coming in to teach in the classroom. I hope some of the lecturers are still doing this. I see a lot still in the email invitation. So if we want to go forward, we're thinking maybe, we have to not so much look at 2019 and before, because a pandemic has given us a lot of opportunity. We have to think of delivery. Maybe this is a what if. Please do not scream. Okay, what if we talk about jigsaw learning, stackable? Students can actually take courses and stack it up and get a degree. Or in terms of assessment, can we have on-demand assessment? Can students negotiate assessment? I think we can do that actually, but the students will have to be responsible and responsive, because personalized learning will be the in thing in 2021 and beyond, right? So maybe even curricular content, because we have the outcome. We don't have to worry about outcome based. We are not going to disturb, but the content itself can actually be curated by the lecturer with input and from the industry and community at the onset of every new semester. We can do that. And maybe our calendar can be more flexible. Maybe we can forget the 14 weeks kind of thing, because maybe some lecturers will do 8 weeks of a lot of teaching and learning session, but another 6 weeks of projects that students go to the communities and so on. That can happen, because I see the same things happening at the Ministry of Higher Education as well. But of course, we need to embrace student diversity. When we say embrace diversity, there come what Prof. Pamji has put in, like voice, and not only voice, but student choice. So it's voice and choice for the students. So when they have choice, they will have access to education, and the educators, they can learn from the best, learning across faculties, learning across campus. So students are connected to students from other institutions from all over the world. So I think that is possible. So maybe that can answer as an initial answer, Prof,
Yes,
for that question.
yeah, thank you, Azia. I was about to stop you earlier, but then it looks so interesting. But one thing that we must admit here, I was wondering, yeah, there are so many things that VHA has been spearheading, your initiatives. Just I wonder, how much sleep do you get during the pandemic, yeah, to do all this? Maybe 4 hours sleep only, Prof? Okay.
I would say the first few months, Prof, we did not sleep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's why these are some of the inputs, feedbacks that I get. They say that UiTM really love the student. Now, after hearing the initiatives, I wish I am a student currently with UiTM, yeah, because of how I know that the efforts which has been in place. Just that I think what we need to do is that the students should understand the initiative are for them and internalize the initiative. Okay,
And to communicate, Prof, to communicate it better.
yeah. Nevertheless, thank you, Prof Z. We are going to have round two. Yeah. But now let us hear from one professor. I know he is so passionate in teaching and learning. And whenever he is with me, I was always asking myself, what will be his next question to me? Yeah. And let us welcome, yeah, Prof. Dr. Pamjit Singh from Faculty of Education. Now, Prof, you have been teaching for more than 30 years, definitely. Yeah, and everyone knows that you are passionate on teaching and learning. And as Prof. Z said, I think most aptly describe you. There are no box which you are surrounding you. Yeah. So now meaning that you are always there giving some perspective that is very different from the mainstream. So, Prof, we would like you to elaborate after I've seen, yeah, the changes that has always been discussed before in teaching and learning. From your perspective, Prof, and from your observation and from your opinion, what remains unchanged now and must remain unchanged? Okay, over to you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Prof. Aryani. Okay, first of all, we are sitting as lecturers in the faculties, sometimes we do not see what the top management are doing. We are looking at the micro level and the university looking at the macro level. Sometimes we feel difficult to see, but the effort put in by, especially when during this COVID, when the effort put in by the HEA and the top management is tremendous. But the question is, those who are in the faculty level at the micro level feel difficult to see. They only can see the difficulties they are facing. And I think I like to congratulate our top management from HEA, like Noor Azia, what they're telling, I know her very well. They've done a lot. Now, let me go to the micro level about teaching and learning. Yes, I know the title about what has not changed. Actually, when we look here, there are two variables involved, unchanged and teaching and learning. I have to explain these two before we can tie this. But I will talk about a micro level. I know the only constant in life is change. I know that staying, so bear with that. First of all, I'm talking about a teaching and learning perspective, okay? We are all gurus. I'm talking from the lecture perspective. We are all gurus, like it or no. The word guru and gu is dark, ru is light, the light that dispels the darkness. So that's our role in the university. And one more thing we must bear in mind, every individual here, all of us, including me, everybody think we know everything. I repeat, everybody think we know me. But we must understand the Dunning-Kruger effort. I'm sure you all have heard about Dunning-Kruger effort. In fact, the more we learn, I repeat, the more we learn, the more we read, the less we tend to estimate one's ability. Or another way around, the less we read, the more we tend to know everything. This Dunning-Kruger effort is something that's have been hitting my mind for the past 2-3 months. And I'm writing a paper on this. Let's go into teaching. I have to dissect the word teaching. The reason is because this term everybody has been using right from the professors, senior instructors, and even junior lecturers. You see, when we use the word teaching, I like to say sometimes erroneously we use the word teaching with giving my knowledge. Sorry, that's not teaching. We use delivering knowledge. Sorry, that's not teaching. Dispensing of knowledge. Sorry, that is not teaching. Sharing knowledge, possible, yes. Giving my input, not teaching. These are erroneous description of teaching. These are erroneous description of teaching. Why I'm trying to say that? Let's talk about teaching, because why I need to explain this. Number one, what is teaching? I know, sometimes when I go for a research method for PhD student in UiTM in ILD, we have people doing PhDs. The first question I will ask them, what's the meaning of scientific? Let me tell you, scientific seems everybody tend to use this word, but they do not know the meaning of scientific. When I say meaning, the definition, we tend to know a little bit. So here I talk about teaching. Can there be teaching without students? I'm not going to ask you a question because of the time limitation. Can there be teaching without students? No. Can there be teaching when there are students but no teacher? I repeat, can there be teaching when there are students but no teacher? Well, there can be learning without a teacher. Okay, there can, but that's not teaching. There can be learning. Can there be teaching without a subject? Can there be teaching without a subject? Can a person swim without water? So in other words, there must be a medium. There must be a subject. Okay, now what are the common elements involved in teaching? Number one, there must be student. Of course, there must be teacher. And of course, there must be subject. So what is the definition of teaching? That you see, literature has so many definitions because there's difference between teaching and lecturing. I'm talking about teaching here. Teaching is the interaction process between a student and a teacher over a content in an environment. I repeat, teaching is an interaction process. Must have interaction. No interaction is not teaching. I dispense my knowledge. I give my knowledge. I give my input as lecture. So teaching is an interaction process between student teacher in a subject area and in the environment. Our current environment has changed. Our current environment, what is the current environment? First, we are doing face-to-face, and currently we are doing using the platforms of WebEx, UFuture, Google Meet, and so forth. So teaching involves trying to teach someone something somewhere. So that's the definition of teaching. It is not, by the way, this is not teaching, this is not my definition, it's in the literature, all right? So now, what has not changed? The variable. Before I can answer this question, because this question, why I put was because before COVID and after COVID, there's so many things has not changed. Number one, if I ask a question to all of us, what are children's expectation of their mother has not changed? Children's expectation of their mother has not changed. They expect it from their mother. Children's expectation of their fathers has not changed. Students' expectations of their lecturers has not changed. Let me tell you, these students, they are our clients in this university. The university is built of students. Their expectation has not changed. Although COVID comes inside, there are many elements that have not changed. The environment has changed. So, like you see, parents, what are their expectations from their children? Children expect from their parents. So the parents expect happiness for their children. Before COVID and after COVID. Parents expect their children to be happy before or after COVID. Helping the housework, avoid bad companies, respect elders, careers, academic, cooking, clean room. These are the expectation of a parent from their children. Before COVID and after COVID. Now, from the perspective of lecturers now, let me tell you, what the students' perspective current not changed. The parents, students always say, if they are feeling, hopefully the lecturers know, sir, I'm exhausted. I wish you knew that I'm barely getting sleep every night. This is during current COVID and the expectation of their students from their lecturers. Sir, I'm trying my best. Sir, I have other classes. Sir, the times have changed. Sir, I need to tell you, I need to tell me it's okay. Sir, I have no idea what you are trying to do, sir. Sir, my mental health is struggling. These expectations have not changed and will not change in the future. This expectation remains the same of expectation of students from the lecturers. Before COVID, during COVID, even after COVID. Now, what are the qualities of effective instructors? I know all of us are here. My concern here is we know all of us have to have this knowledge. But again, this knowledge is one is content knowledge, one is a pedagogical content knowledge. How to teach. That's where I think something we are not trained, so-called the word trained. I don't believe the word trained. We're not educated for it. Number one, the communication skills, how we speak to the students. Let me tell you, sometimes we expect students, we wouldn't know behind the side of the student how they are going through. Number three, interest. We must show interest from our side before we can see the interest in students. Sometimes we are just teaching for the sake of teaching. I always tell myself, when we dekat gaji, kita perlu halalkan gaji kita. Respect for students. Respect for students. These four elements to be a quality instructor. Do we have these qualities? We don't have to reflect whether we have or no. Students will give us the answer. Students will definitely give us the answer if we have this quality. So, what has not changed? Number one, the fundamental principles of teaching remains the same. The only change is the environment. We are now in the online environment. Students love teachers who have good command of content. I ask a question, all of us here. Tell me one of the quality that we like about our previous teachers in our life. You know, when I did this experiment always, you know what they will say? I like my teacher because my teacher is very empathy person. I like my teacher because my teacher's content knowledge is very good. I like my teacher because he's very humorous person. Do we have that qualities? Again, I'm talking from the micro level. Students love teachers who are caring and empathy, especially at current time. We have to look into this empathy. So, students love teachers who create fun and humor in their teaching. And students respect teachers who respect them. Remember, if we want our students to thrive, the words we speak shape the person they become. The word we speak shape the person they become. As someone said, Whether you think they can or you think they can't, you are right. Agree, instructors' workload has intensified during this pandemic. Everybody, no one expected this situation. All of us in the same boat. We are thrown into this ocean. All of a sudden, no one in this life would expect these things taking. What has not changed? The power of technology has not changed. Previously, we said technology is very good, right? Previously, I do not believe in technology much. I did not believe. I was Prof. Norazia. I only believe chalk and talk. But the power of technology has been the same before and today. Only thing now, we have realized it. So the power of technology not changed. We should continue to use technology tools to support student learning, but be aware of their limitation. Technology is a tool to enhance and enrich instructions for students and should not be used as the way to replace any educator or limit a person's role. Remember one thing, the saying have, perception of the technology, reflection of the reality. I repeat, perceptions of the technology and reflections of the reality. What technology does and what's the reflection? We have to reflect on it. That's why reflection is very important. If a year of remote learning has proven anything, that is no substitute for face-to-face. I'm going to finish one more sentence. And relationship between students, teachers, and staff members are so important. The COVID-19 created challenges for every learner, but expectation of learning quality has not changed. This quality remains the same, tak tukar lagi lah. I think terima kasih, saya tu cakap banyak. Thank you very much, Prof. Yani.
Thank you, Prof. Amjid. Though you have used up, I think, extra 1 minute, but I think it is very interesting. So if I ask Akram, do you remember what Prof. Amjid asked to remember? Perception of teaching, reflection of reality. Yeah. Okay. And not only that, I think the whole gist is that the quality of teaching. Yeah. Maintain the quality of teaching. That one has not changed due to the environment changes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Amjid. Very inspiring. And let us, the lecturers here, reflect on what has been done. Yeah. True enough, I like the idea of let's do a test on ourselves. How do we remember our former cikgu-cikgu lecturers before this? Yeah, how do we remember them and all those the criteria that comes with the cikgu and lecturer that we remember up until now. Okay, I think another panelist is waiting, looking at her, Prof. Dr. Nurhayati Sa'ad. I know she is very eager to add on. Prof. Nurhayati, let's, after listening to the views, the perspective, the efforts done by BHEA, and then Prof. Amjid bring us to the micro level, yeah, of what has changed, what needs to remain unchanged. Yeah, Prof. Hati, you are from the professor side. Yeah, from the professor side, let us hear the perspective. How can a professor who, when we say that these are the professor, it means that professors are demonstrating the excellence in their academic field in educating the students to prepare them for a greater society later. So now, from what we have seen here, what do you think, or how can the professor play a role to fill up the gap or to fill up whatever is needed to educate the students now with the current situation? Okay, over to you, Prof.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Rayani, our moderator. So allow me to share my slide. So can you see my screen at the moment?
Yeah, we can. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prof.
Okay, so basically, teaching and learning in times of COVID-19 has not changed. Yeah, so very quick. Yeah, I would like to start. Yeah, this one first. Yeah, what has not changed. Yeah. So whatever mentioned by Prof. Azia and also Prof. Pamjit, yeah, we are talking on the current status. Yeah. It is remain, yeah. For example, when we refer to our program, yeah, our program need to be accredited either by professional body or by the MQA, yeah. So at the end of the day, we need to ensure, yeah, the quality assurance, yeah. The quality assurance, yeah, it covers, yeah, the content, the delivery, yeah, and all those kind of things. It come from the professors or the group of the lecturers, yeah, who are teaching the subject, yeah, or the program as a whole. Yeah. And then of course, yeah, when we refer to the market, yeah, we may have many students, yeah, at the end graduate, yeah, but without, yeah, market needs be able to accept, yeah, these students, yeah, or in other words, yeah, our student actually being demanded by the market, yeah, they can accept our students, yeah. So it is important, yeah, to ensure that, yeah, the content, okay, the curriculum itself to be designed, yeah, to cover, yeah, whatever needs by industry. Talking on the multiple higher education, yeah, multiple stakeholders, higher education providers, yeah. Talking on the knowledge, yeah, as mentioned by Prof. Azia, yeah, Prof. Pamjit, yeah. So it is from the knowledge, skill, and values, yeah. So of course, yeah, who will do this? Yeah, it is actually our professors, it is our lecturers, yeah, who help, yeah, to shape our curriculum, who help to design our curriculum, yeah. And when we refer to the recent one, yeah, October 2020 on the World Economic Forum, yeah, it is mentioned on the double description, yeah, talking on the impact of pandemic, yeah, due to this COVID-19, yeah, and at the same time, yeah, due to the technology movement, we're talking on the increasing in terms of the automation, yeah. So all this kind of thing, yeah, become the description. So it means, yeah, how can we adjust those gap, yeah. It is very important for the professors, for the lecturer, yeah, to sit together, yeah, to discuss, yeah, to improve our program, our course, yeah. So I highlight here, yeah, and the gaps, yeah. And then of course, yeah, what we need to adjust, yeah, when we are talking on the effective teaching learning style, yeah, and delivery approach, yeah, because the environment is different now, yeah, because we are face to face, but face to face online like here now, yeah. If let's say, yeah, there is no communication in between, yeah, there is no participation between student and lecturer, yeah, there is no collaboration in between, there is no chemistry, yeah, it will be very challenged, yeah, for both party, yeah, either professors or lecturers and also students, yeah, to commit within this learning processes, yeah. And alignment of learning outcome, delivery, and assessment, that one is not changed, yeah. Of course, we need to align, yeah. And of course, due to this COVID-19, yeah, due to this open and distant learning, yeah, it is important for us to accommodate, yeah, appropriate interactive tool, technology, and at the same time, yeah, to design, yeah. It is not by chance. I always say to my team at BTU, yeah, it is not by chance. We have to design every single thing, even, yeah, our teaching and learning environment, yeah, even though it is online, yeah. So all challenge, yeah, faced by, it's not only students, it is by the lecturer as well, professor as well, yeah. Teaching and learning, the gadget, the internet connection, yeah, talking on many other responsibility as well, yeah, when we are talking on the work from home, for example, yeah. So what is actually the role of professors, yeah? So what is actually the current gap? Of course, yeah, we are aware, yeah, throughout the our teaching and learning, yeah, at the end of the day, we want our students, yeah, be able to practice. When they graduate, we expect the first week, yeah, when they enter the market, it should be able to run, yeah. There is no more crawl, yeah. So it means they have to be ready with a certain package of the knowledge, skill, and attitude, yeah. And this one is actually the role, yeah, the role of the professors with the team, yeah, together with all lecturers, yeah, how we want to impact what we call active and experiential learning. This is the way how we designed the learning experience itself, yeah, how we design the learning activities, yeah, so that at the end, by having a proper good, yeah, accredited program, and at the same time, yeah, we design properly, yeah, this one, yeah. So inshallah we expect, yeah, we be able to impart a good package of the skill and knowledge, and at the same time values at the end to our student. And I would like to highlight as well what is actually the roles of the professors and also the lecturer. We're talking on the design. We are as the designer and as the curator, as Prof. Aziah mentioned just now. We need to design our course content properly, our assessment to align properly. We need to create learning material so that to suit with our environment online. And at the same time, we have to design and curate our learning activities and environment as well. So that everybody will be open, so that we will have both party talking on the educator and also the learners. At the same time, we are talking on we are as a professors, as the facilitators. At the same time, we have to motivate our students, because at this time, everybody face challenge. It's not only the professors, it's not only lecturers, but students as well. So it means, how can we give good words, how can we discuss with them, so that it is actually we be able to suit with the environment. And at the same time, it is good if our lecturer also have some knowledge as the coach, as a mentor, so that this coaching will help students to align with the requirement. And I would like to highlight as well top 10 skill of 2025 from the World Economic Forum as well. So if you have a look, there are 4 group of the skill which we need to ensure to impart to our student, which it is expected by 2025. But in order for students to be competent with all these skill, we ourselves as a professors and lecturer also need to impart, to embed with all these skill together. Problem solving, very quick analytical thinking and innovation, complex problem solving, critical thinking and analysis, creativity, originality and initiative, reasoning, problem solving and ideation. And self-management. So this is very important because we are talking on now due to COVID. It is important, of course, to know how to do, of course, active learning strategies, and be resilient. Stress tolerance. How we'll be able to manage some stress. If we are unable to smile, it's quite tough. Because of it is we ourselves who manage ourselves and the others as well. People surrounding us. And also be flexible. Working with people, this is very important as well. Talking on leadership and social influence, how we collaborate with others, how can we synergize with others. As a role as a professors, as a leader, should be able to influence others to work together, so that we can work as a team. Similarly, technology use and development, we refer to technology use, monitoring and control, technology design and programming. So we're talking on the IR 4.0 and so on. Many more. And this one, I would like to share. So this is actually one of the it is partly what we call it is similar, more or less like whatever Prof mentioned on the ADAP, but this is specifically on the we put in the 3 on the perceive input as a learner. How we observe our learner, our students, and learning domain transformation and output. For your information, this is waiting to be published. Actually, article written by me. Actually, so when we are talking on the learners, so students, or we ourselves, we have our internal, what we either we are visual, whether we are kinesthetic, whether we are auditory. So some students or due to different levels, or what I can say that undergraduate, postgraduate, due to different experience, of course, so they might bias to certain learning style, even though throughout the time, of course, we will be more combined between all this internal system, and then also it will be when we add up this experience, it will be more digital, to add up overall. So that one based on the experience. Yeah. And then when we refer to the learning domain transformation, yeah, we have to understand how our student, some students they love they are learners, as social learners. Some of them is solitary learner. Yeah. So different learner, how can we suit these people? So it means lecturer need to aware. Yeah. In fact, we have to assess. Yeah. For me personally, yeah, based on my experience observing students. Yeah. So I think it is important for us to assess learners' learning style, and at the same time, how can we match the requirement of the students? Yeah? Even though, of course, yeah, based on the research, yeah, 60 to 70%, yeah, more or less, yeah, student is actually visual, but the remaining is they are actually auditory and also kinesthetic. Based on this one, yeah, how can we design our class, yeah, to cover with all this range of learners? And at the same time, how can we cope with the environment of the current COVID-19, yes, so that it will be more interactive, it will be more participation, and at the end of the day, we expect our students to develop knowledge, skill, attitude, and at the same time value, because this one is very important, because we don't want they only have knowledge and skill, but then at the end there is no, less attitude and also value, because this is very important package for an individual. So this is educator responsibility, or professor and also lecturer. So we provide learner-centered learning environment. How student, because at the moment our student, when we are talking about undergraduate, they are transitions, from the pedagogy to the andragogy. So the andragogy, we're talking on the students, toward the adult learners. And this, when we refer to undergraduate, they should actually be responsible part of that, with your own learning. And you should actually seek for information, not waiting for information. So this both, must be balanced. The role of professors and lecturers, the role of student as well. Because without this balancing, without this alignment, it will be tough, for both professors and also students.
Okay, Prof. Hayati, thank you very much. I think
Can I, Prof, last sentence, last sentence only.
in
Okay.
30 seconds.
Okay. So whatever it is, it is important, okay, for the supervise for the professors actually, to support each other, working in a team, so that at the same time we can support our students. Thank you very much. Sorry, Prof.
Okay, Prof. Hayati mentioned something very interestingly. The students now, they come to the university, they have to jump up from crawling now to running. They can no longer take their time to walk. And professors, how do we do this? How do we fill in the gap so that the students now, we receive them as a babies, but then suddenly now they become toddlers who are running here and there. So I think professors, we have so many work to do now. I think the chairman of Professor Council UiTM will pick up on these points and start to strategize among professors. Okay, now just some updates here. We have more than 300 viewers from YouTube channel. And let us just read a few of their comments here. I think very interesting comment from Gazwan Romzi, can really mention about the sentence Prof. Pamjit has been mentioning, perception of teaching and reflection of reality. And we have Printing, who says that teaching is an interacting process. Adlan Ahmad Bakri was commenting, students are clients, not our kids, so treat them professionally. Some of the interesting comments here. I think keep on giving your comments through YouTube. And I think over here on the WebEx platform, we have more than 100 participants who are following us. Nevertheless, we are not at the end of the webinar. We have another interesting part of the webinar. Let's hear from our students. And these are the voices of our students represented by, the first one is Muhammad Hafizuddin. Yeah, so Muhammad Hafizuddin, just to put some, some vision there, this next semester will be our 4th ODL session. Yeah, we started, and I think as it progressed, as it evolved into the 4th ODL, 4th semester, which we implement ODL, let us hear from the students. How does the students cope with ODL actually from last year up until the current situation?
Right, thank you. Can you hear me, Prof?
Sure, very clear.
Alright. So, very good morning also to Prof. Dr. Haryani and all the panel and my beloved audience. So, how students to cope with the challenge during to 4th ODL and 4.0 on open and distance learning we happen to next semester. I think I would like to make it short and but make it very manfaat lah to all the student. So I think I would like to highlight the most common challenge that students are currently facing with the online classes along, and I will specifically explain some tips on how to address them. I think this is the common problem is unfortunately the technical issues are bound to happen in an online only environment. I think some of the students say that while attending one of their classes live through the video conferencing, the computer suddenly shut down and they need to restart the device. I think this is the most common issue of the student. I think how to counter to this problem is student, the most important step is to stay in touch with the lecturers, with their friend and inform them about what is happening. I think they will hopefully understand and be flexible about the situation, perhaps even recording class session as a backup. Also, universities had provided the Google Meet as a premium. So use the platform nicely. I think the student should menggunakan kebaikan yang ada daripada universiti ni untuk kita manfaatkan sebaiknya. Other than that, I think what student face during ODL, I think is while studying from home, whether whatever student maybe they can be more distraction than usual. I think especially with family and possibly younger sibling around. As a result of this distraction and possibly having additional responsibilities, time management become more challenging. I think the student need to try to think about building a schedule and figure out when you are going to do what you are going to do and then sharing that with the other people in the house. I think students should still prioritize their physical and mental health even if life is busier than usual, and also try to identify a quiet time and place in the house to complete all the coursework. If possible, even if that time is late at night, if their other responsibilities become too overwhelming, students should consider talking with their academic advisor about course load and option for the semester. I think I would like to highlight from Prof Azia point. I think student need to communicate with the lecturers and the academic advisor. I think the stress management that bahagian dalam academic applied to the next semester is the satu inisiatif yang baik kepada pelajar. And then I would like to highlight lah to all the student untuk sentiasa communicate with all the academic advisor. Kita ada akan datang untuk semester akan datang. We have buddy system, and the buddy system is student need to always communicate with the academic advisor. So student, the main problem is now is communication between student and the lecturers. So please to all the student, I think the communication with the dengan pensyarah itu adalah satu the key of the success untuk kita menjayakan the online distance learning 4.0. Student sekarang ni mungkin bagi saya malu untuk bertanya kepada pensyarah, to all the lecturers, malu untuk sebagainya. Jadi kalau kita malu, how kita ingin menjayakan the ODL 4.0? That's all lah, that short answer from me, because maybe that kita ada soalan-soalan lain daripada all the panels. Mungkin just I want to make it short. And my highlight here is communication between pensyarah dan juga pelajar. Please, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Muhammad Hafizuddin. I think what you mentioned just now echo one of the comments from the YouTube channel, yeah? That is the parents versus the student expectation. Yeah, because they are studying at home, the lecturers expect something else, the student expectation is something else. That one, it echoes what has been the comments from the YouTube. Now, Muhammad Akram, yeah, Muhammad Akram, Hafizuddin started with the technical issues, yeah, maybe due to his background from the technical base or technology based courses, yeah. How far or how much different is this view from the perspective of a non-technology based, or I mean from the social science group of students? How do they cope with ODL? Over to you, Akram.
All right. Okay, first of all, thank you to Professor Haryani as our moderator today. And also thank you to UiTM Council of Professors for inviting me and Hafizuddin to give our views on today's topic. Okay, so let me just go straight to the question asked by Professor Haryani about the difference. Okay, as we know, not only social science students are affected by this change of the learning mode. Okay, it involves all field of study, because everyone is experiencing the same thing, which is the change of the learning mode from the physical learning to the online learning. So even if the course needs clinical and practical learning, the students still need to undergo the learning process virtually. Okay, since they cannot attend the lab or use any facility provided by UiTM at the campus. So from doing the experiment together with the lecturers in the lab to only watching the experiment videos through the maybe YouTube or recorded videos by lecturers, okay, it is not easy for certain students, since the way they understand the concept might be different from what should be understood by the students. Okay, for us, the social science students, most of our subjects or courses only require us to listen to the lectures given by the lecturers, whether it is online or in physical class. So therefore, I would say that our learning method is less affected. Okay, and we still manage to do it online. And yeah, we're not affected too much in terms of learning method, but it is still difficult for us since the environment is not the same. So how does this environment problem affect us in learning online? It is about the difference of the environment itself between the environment in the physical class and environment at our home itself. So yeah, I will explain a little bit about the difference. So let me use an example. So when we do not understand a subtopic in the middle of the class, of course, we want to understand it quickly so that we can continue to understand the rest of the other subtopics. Okay, so during the physical class, we can spontaneously maybe raise our hands or just speak out to ask the lecturer about what we don't understand, or maybe we can also ask our friends around us so that yeah, we can ask them about what we don't understand. And also maybe we don't have to ask them. We just have to listen to our friends' discussion around us, and then with the other friends, and then maybe we can understand that topic. So this is different to an online class, which we don't have our lecturer or friends around us. So if you have to ask, if you have something to ask our friends or lecturers, we do something voluntarily, not spontaneously. Okay. For example, we need to voluntarily turning on the microphone. So this is, I would say that it is an attitude problem, because some students are very shy and they're afraid if they open their microphone suddenly in the middle of the class, they will disturb the other class. Okay, but and if you are about to ask our friends, we need to contact them personally, or contact in a WhatsApp group, so that everyone, maybe our friends can reply to us. But some of the students, they still shy or afraid. If their friends won't reply to them, and yeah, maybe they will get frustrated because their friends not reply to them. So yeah, that is some of the issues with the environment, because of the voluntarily versus spontaneous action. Okay. So okay, I think that's enough, because you will just hear the buzzing sound. So yeah, I know my explanations might sound like an excuses. The environment might sound like an excuse as to make as an issue for the student, but this is what happening to us, to the students. So yeah, this problem happens to all students, not only for social science students. So I would say that there is no much different in terms of coping with the new learning method between social science students and the others. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Akram. Akram, after hearing, what are the initiative done by BHA as presented just now, and also after looking into the views of professors, and also from Pamjit, who from the lecturer side, lecturer views on what needs to be stressed on during next semester, for when we come to ODI 4.0. What do you think, from the students' perspective, what we have been doing now or proposing now to happen next semester, is this in line, ataupun adakah ini sesuai dengan kehendak students? How much will this help, to ease the burden of the students with this initiative that has been proposed?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you again for the questions. So yeah, basically we know that UiTM has created a number of alternatives, okay, in order to keep our education system in a good quality during this pandemic, especially. So yeah, however, know that large majority of students are aware of this initiative taken by maybe HA, UiTM, or UiTM itself. And yeah, they're aware of the initiative and the benefits of the initiative. But unfortunately, there are still a small minority of the students, they are not aware of the initiative, or the effort that that UiTM try to do to help the students. So for these reasons, yeah, we as MPP members always ready. We're always ready to do our best to spread this initiative, and try to help the management, the UiTM management itself, to the students. Okay, so yeah, those who are aware of this initiative, they really enjoy the benefits, even though there are certain little things that they might not be happy with. But for example, they really enjoy the students' Google account, the free Microsoft account, Microsoft Office account, maybe uh, other account, other website account like Canva, maybe yeah, and the other initiative, maybe the initiative to allow the students to go back to the campus so that they can have a good internet connection. So yeah, they're happy with it, but only some of the things that they might not be happy with, maybe because yeah, I would say that this may be sound harsh, but the integrity pledge actually many students give not so good feedback about the integrity pledge, because yeah, some of them try to follow the integrity pledge, but still their friends did not follow this thing, so that it is not fair for them. Okay, it is not fair for them, so they complain that what is the use of this integrity pledge. But I think in my opinion, the integrity pledge is something good for the students, because this is the thing that we can see how much the students stand with the integrity integrity in themselves. Okay, so if they don't follow the integrity pledge, then that their maybe their own problem with their attitude. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
Okay, Akram. Thank you, Akram. Okay, now back to Hafizuddin. Yeah, Hafizuddin. Last question. Yeah, what else do the student need after hearing what are the initiative? Yeah, what else do you think the student need? Yeah, in order for them to be ready to handle ODL 4.0. Hafiz, sila.
Alright, thank you. There's a lot of sesi libat urus bersama dengan which bahagian dalam akademik. So Prof Azia lah, the person in charge with the student about sesi libat urus. So, I think macam Prof Harani cakap, mungkin Prof Azia sehari tidur 4 jam, 3 jam memikirkan
Oi, saya
kesyarah
nak mention
and the
dah Prince
student.
oi.
And I think to adapt this kind of situation, what the student need, I think as for now, apa yang kita ada, kita perkasakan. We need to use it to fully utilize what we have. For example, we have the system of the youth future. So fully utilize of the system that we have in the university. I think student is are internalizing the new norm of the teaching and learning. I would like to add on some student view of the topic that we have been discussed. I think the current COVID-19 crisis ni has obliged most education system to adopt alternative to face-to-face of teaching and learning. Many education system move activities online to allow instruction to continue despite university closes. I think considering the alternative of online classes has been an important tool to sustain skill development during studies closes. I think they are still concerned that online learning may have been a suboptimal substitute for face-to-face instruction, especially so in the absence of universal access to infrastructure, which are hardware and the software, and lack of adequate preparation among lecturers and students for the unique demand that online teaching learning pose. They are also crucial in supporting students using information and communication technology effectively and making the student using the information and communication technology. This is a new technology for learning. As for this initiative, we can try to improvise to normalize the future application among the student. Not the student. I think we fully utilize for all the student and lecturers. So time limitation of lecture life in class. So education system should aim to strengthen engagement. So we need to strengthen engagement between lecturers and students to improve information for supporting their learning. So at the same time, lecturer need support to incorporate technology effectively into their teaching practice and method and help students overcome some of the difficulties that are associated with this form of learning environment. I think supporting lecturers training about the use of digital resource for practice and promoting teaching practice adapt to this context is the key to ensure that ICT is leveraged effectively. I think the sudden switch to online classes for the spring semester has caused anxiety and raised questions among the students about their academic futures. So some them are considering taking the fall semester of it. Their faculty continues to stick with the online classes. For instance, while others are concerned about upholding a full course load while juggling family responsibilities at home, students should responsibly speak with an advisor or student support service as needed to determine whether adjustment can be made to their course schedule or future semester if needed. I think regardless of the challenge that come with the transition to online classes, students should remember that assistance is always available 24 hours. It can be difficult transition sometime, but it doesn't have to be because there are many people out there who are willing and able to help with it. So we need to adapt with the current situation of the pandemic COVID-19. We need to accept it. So we are in the phase from pandemic to endemic. So we are need to face this in terms of the our education in the future. I think I would like to highlight for the UiTM strategic 2025. Our university values is ESI, excellent, synergy and integrity. So we are university kita ke arah university yang ke arah global. So kita kena menerapkan the ESR value, IDAT value that university provide in ourselves untuk kita membantu universiti ke arah kejayaan ke peringkat global. That's all. We need to face the reality right now that we are in the process from pandemic to endemic. So we need to prepare our mentally and physically untuk membantu to help university towards globalization. That's all.
Thank you, Hafizuddin. I think that really brighten up, and open up our perspective on what the students need, whether we have cater for the students' need during ODL. Okay, now round two, we are going for round two now without a break. I think what we have now, there are many questions, but let me summarize one of the most popular question first. Okay, the first one is not really a question, but a statement, maybe a comment, a suggestion that we need to libatkan, or we need to engage more of the stakeholders, for example, the students, the lecturers, whenever there is any problem that arises. Okay, that is a suggestion. Now, let me ask from Prof. Hayati perspective first. But you are only given about 2 minutes to give this, Prof. Hayati. How much do you think engagement has been made to the professors in order to solve any problems that arises? The university, either teaching and learning or anything that is hitting the university, the problems that are there. How much engagement are there with the professors to solve these issues? Over to you, Prof.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So I think, of course, there are many engagement, I believe, and in fact, team, under BHEA have done a lot, every single processes, they have connections with Deputy Dean's academics, to connect with, for every single matters, related to this ODL and so on, and of course, at the same time, I believe, all the faculties, all the campus, have done a lot, they have workshop, they have seminar, either between the lecturers and professors, with the students, and so on. I think all the lead directors, all HEP, BHEA have done their roles, okay, to support every single activity, to engage the peoples, to engage the student, staff, so that to support the ODL, and all this kind of thing, I think, there is no doubt, Prof. I think only that one,
Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, Prof. Abdul, I think, how about the lecturers? How much do we engage with the lecturers, or how much do we ask the lecturers if there are some problems, for example, maybe some problems in teaching and learning, how much do we engage with lecturers to hear their views, to overcome or to provide solution for this?
Thank you. You see, the issue of, I'll just tell from the bottom of my heart, right? This Material Professor is something that was formed recently, and we're taking baby steps to become more relevant, more can be visualized in the university, plays an important role. But however, moving to teaching and learning, we ask the lecturers themselves, how much have we, I question, how much have we as lecturers has reached out to find out how to teach better and how to reach our students? We have not done that. The question is, we always sit in our comfort zone. We teach as how we were taught. The question is, students, I'm not trying to say students side lah. Students are trying sometimes, but we are teaching the same method sebelum dan selepas. We have to learn. Of course, kita perlu berubah, right? We have to unlearn to learn. But how much as we as lecturers has reached out to find out how to teach better? Macam I was sharing 2 days ago. We had a beautiful session from Prof. Lagi apa lupa dia? Yang engagement tu?
Karim, Prof.
Prof. Karim. He's a renowned person. How many of us took this effort to listen? Because he talked a very important lesson. Engagement in classroom during online. So actually in sikap kita lah, kita tak baca. Let me tell you, humans, kita tak baca, kita hanya baca content kita saja. I think we must change ourselves before we can reach out lah. Prof. Haryani, saya ambil satu masa 50 seconds, saya mau 50 seconds. I nak tanya satu soalan pada Muhammad Akram. He brought up a very issue about ESI. Is it Akram brought up ESI?
Hafizuddin.
Hafizuddin. Excellent synergy, integrity. Integrity is beauty. Let me tell you, integrity is beauty. This issue of integrity has not changed before and after. As a student leader, as mentioned just now by Akram also, there's an issue of ethics going on in online learning. As a student leader, we in the HEA selalu ada masalah disiplin sebagainya. And when we did a research around 2 years ago, students acknowledged a rampant online, not rampant cheating cases going on. Bila kata cheating, bukan cheating tengok exam, tengok quiz dan sebagainya lah. As a leader, how can you help the management to bring self-realization to report? Because when we ask students, will you report? They said no. Berlaku, dia nampak. Tapi will you reach out? They said no. So as a student leader, how can you help that management to overcome this issue of integrity? Sorry, saya Haryani, I wanted to ask that question just now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Amjad. Okay, open to Muhammad Akram and also Muhammad Hafizuddin. How can you help the management to uphold the integrity in terms of there is one incident as mentioned by Prof. Amjad, but in a general sense, how do we, what will be your suggestion to the management so we can uphold integrity among the students? Any one of you can answer first.
All right.
Maybe
I can
interesting
start
question from
Okay.
Prof. Paramjit.
first.
I think
Okay, who first?
Akram.
Akram first? Okay, sila Akram.
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. I'm not going to. I'm going to give some, maybe just a little bit response. Okay. So, yeah. Actually, we have tried before this to spread the awareness of the integrity, to make a programs related to this integrity, and remind everyone, every students before the examination, maybe examination period, and yeah, about this integrity things. But yeah, it actually depends on the student themselves. So even if we try our best, maybe there will still be a minority of the students that still don't have the awareness of the integrity. Okay. But yeah, we need to arrange or to make a strategy to overcome this issue. Maybe we can try to obtain feedbacks from not only from the student leaders, but from the normal students, or yeah, from the students around the Malaysia. So yeah, maybe that's from me.
Okay, thank you, Akram. How about Hafizuddin? Do you want to add to what have been said by Akram?
Alright, I think I would like to add on about cheating on the exam, something else. I think I would like to suggest student management to prepare a lot of set of question in the final exam to student. I think I would like to give example for faculty College of Engineering Chemical. One of my friend they say untuk peperiksaan akhir fakulti kimia ni menyediakan pelbagai set soalan dan soalan tu diberikan dalam pada satu kelas yang sama. So dia tak dapat nak meniru pada masa satu yang pada masa yang sama dalam satu kelas. That's the initiative from the management lah. Other than that, I think my faculty, some of the lecturers giving a time, set a time untuk jawab satu soalan menggunakan masa yang telah diberikan. So maksudnya dekat situ student tak sempat nak meniru. That's the initiative from the university of the faculty. I think setiap fakulti ada pendekatan masing-masing. College Engineering, education, faculty of education. I think there's a lot of initiative from the faculties. And we also have saya terlupa one of the system yang boleh check untuk meniru. I think
Turning in.
saya terlupa. Yes, turning in.
Turning in, okay.
I think that's the effective ways lah to detect the student. But one of the problem, the turning in is for engineering student also. For engineering student, kita banyak menggunakan calculation and how to detect all the calculation with turning in. I think maybe the pendekatan yang kita boleh gunakan kepada student sekarang ni ialah kita mention about the keberkatan of ilmu. Kalau kita meniru, apakah keberkatan kita untuk masa hadapan? Itulah the keberkatan, kita kena pendekatan yang kita gunakan kepada student about the keberkatan ilmu pada masa akan datang. Adakah berkat untuk keluarga kita dan juga sebagainya? So we need to think of it lah. I think that's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Hafizuddin. But one last inquiry to the students here. Do you have any platform which the students can raise or give their opinions to any of the student leaders or the faculty members on if they have anything that they think it is not in line or it is not dia tidak sesuai untuk mereka pada ketika itu? Do you have any platforms disediakan? Hafizuddin, I think terputus, maybe
Yes,
Akram?
we have platform.
You have the platform, okay. Can you just mention the platform over here? I think
But as I mentioned, student, Prof, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so we have platform. So as I mentioned before, student always malu untuk bertanya. That's the problem right now. Student malu untuk bertanya. Even dengan student pun, as a student kita dekat bersama dengan student. But now the question is student malu untuk meluahkan pendapat, a lot of ni. Jadi di setiap fakulti, even every faculty we have student leaders. So to get the numbers all the student leaders, please check out to the Instagram or Facebook MPP UiTM Shalam. We have a link LinkedIn. I think we have a Linktree to communicate to all the MPP faculty. So dapatkan link di situ untuk berhubung dengan fakulti setiap MPP di setiap fakulti and reach out the MPP. And also every problem we have MPP, we have EXCO Academic. So Akram, one of the EXCO Academic, and EXCO Academic will work with the BHA. Of course, we are Dr. Suryani and Majlis Professor UiTM. And all the issue kita kumpulkan dan kita akan berikan kepada Prof Azia. Macam-macam baru ni we have engagement with the BHA and pendekatan yang telah diinginkan untuk akan datang. And saya bersyukur kita ada pendekatan yang inisiatif yang baik tentang model adab, body system academic and how to manage student happiness. I think that's a good initiative from the management and from Prof Azia team. I think we need to fully utilize about this initiative to the student for the upcoming semester.
Okay, thank you, Hafizuddin. Okay, I have one rather interesting question here. Yeah, I extract partially from a question. It says that now, how do we overcome the issue of wrong perception on attitude and behavior during ODL? Yeah, I think this is a very legitimate question, because when we changes the environment now from face to face, where you can look and you can interpret the attitude and the behavior of a student now, but now when it is on ODL, maybe online, yeah, there are some wrong perception on the attitude of the students and their behavior. Yeah, so I think this one, let me throw it first to Prof. Azia.
I knew that was coming.
Okay, sila Prof.
Prof, actually for the past 1.5 years, I don't have problem with attitude and of my students, because, okay, I'm sorry to say this. I think when we go into the online environment, we must believe that, you know, the students are there. They are basically, tadi ada orang marah kata anak-anak, tapi saya memang treat student saya macam anak-anak. So I make sure that they know that I'm there for them in terms of knowledge, in terms of the skills they have to achieve, and also of all other problems lah, if they have problems. So in terms of attitude, some people, we lecturers, we get a little bit irritated when students do not open their camera, for example, right? Because we feel that they are not listening to us. Whereas students might have problem with data. So we as lecturers, we can do simple things like, after 10 minutes of presenting and so on, we pick on one. Hafiz, can you tell me what was the main thing that we mentioned just now, and how does it relate to your, you know, your community, for example? So the students will always be attentive. That's one thing. And at the end of every session, we always make sure students, we ask each and every student how they are doing. So some people say, you can do that lah, Prof, because you only have 30 students in your class. Okay, fine. You have 100 students in your class. This week, you ask the first 30. Next week, you ask the next 30. The other week, you ask the next 30. So I think somehow it is a reciprocal thing. The students need to know that we care. And students, you need to know that lecturers will not know unless you tell. So that's the thing. So this attitude and kind of thing, I think it builds as we go along. So you notice in December 2020, when we ran that survey, ODL survey, the results were good. That means somehow it was a good semester for December. And then it went down, right? So I think after lecturers gain some skills on how to deliver and so on, they did well. I would say from HEA point of view, most of our lecturers are good and most of our students are good. Only maybe one bad apple in one class, you know, yang memang tak nak belajar, yang memang bagi excuses all the time. So I think that one, kita jangan generalizekan kata budak-budak ni tak nak belajar. Or ada one lecturer yang kurang sikit, student janganlah pula fikir semua lecturers tak bagus. So the attitude will build up. I would say it is macam mana nak kata ya, Prof, it's something that as we experience, it can be a positive experience for all.
Yeah.
We need to we professors especially, we need to inspire the learning. Macam Prof Pamji kata tadi, it's not bagi maklumat tu PowerPoint cantik gila kot, 30 slide semua color semua ada, but what we have to do is to actually inspire. The next thing they feel, I tak sabar nak tunggu the next lesson. I wish we can do that even though it's online, and I think many of us have been able to do that. Saya tak tahulah kalau Hafiz tak setuju dengan saya, tapi saya rasa ramai lecturers are able to do that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Prof. Z. I think very enlightening, yeah, to hear that the thing is that inspiration to the student, that one, inspiration for learning more. I think the role of lecturers, I think that will be the new tagline if we would like to internalize. Yeah. Okay. Now, I also have, let me just read, some of the comments from YouTube and get some of the response from the panels. For every class, we have a WhatsApp group. In this case, anyone can ask question anytime, 24/7. I'm here. Easy to communicate and share any types of question and problem. This is from Prof. Maro. I think given this. Okay, now back to Hafiz and Akram. Okay, how much do the students utilize this WhatsApp group when the lecturers, the lecturers created for communication? Do you realize that the students have this communication with the lecturers? Ada dengar-dengar from students yang they like the way this kind of engagement? Or this has been mentioned ke?
Right.
Akram, sila.
I'll try to answer this one. Yes. Yes, the student really enjoy this kind of platform, which is WhatsApp group, maybe a Telegram group too, because yeah, like I said earlier, some of them are shy to ask the lecturers, but not all the group members are shy. So maybe some of them will ask the lecturer in the group WhatsApp. So the question might be also the question that other members want to ask the lecturer, but they are shy. So when they ask in the group WhatsApp, so the lecturer will reply in the group WhatsApp itself, and then yeah, all the students will get the answers that they want. So that's a good initiative by the lecturers.
Okay, and then is this also do the students like this, Hafizuddin? I think do the student appreciate?
Yes, of course we appreciate it because hello, okay, this of
You are breaking up, Hafizuddin. I think your line. I think you might. Hello, Hafizuddin. I think you stop. You switch off your video.
appreciate it. We need to lecture.
Okay, I think try to speak. Maybe this will be better for your line.
You hear me, Prof?
Okay, I can hear you better now.
All right. Okay, that's what we need. Student will appreciate what the effort of the lecturers and the student effort. So, as we can see about this problem, so student will feel more rasa dekat dengan pensyarah. So that's what we need, the engagement between student and the lecturers. I think I would like to give an example for the last semester. For my of the classmate ask a question to the lecturers in the WhatsApp group. So the initiative of the lecturers, they ask for the student untuk buatkan kelas malam tu juga untuk terangkan kepada student. One of the that's the effort from the lecturers for my vibration subject. Student, one of my classmates tak faham. They ask the lecturers. So the lecturers terus siapa tak faham boleh masuk ke dalam Google Meet. So I really appreciate what the lecturers do. So that's what, of course that's what we need, the engagement between student and the lecturers. So I think benda tu bukanlah apa yang daripada BHA tetapkan, but the effort between the lecturers and the student with the engagement with the lecturers and the student. So kalau kita menjaga hubungan yang baik sesama pensyarah dengan student, saya rasa tak ada masalah untuk kita ODL ni, tak ada apa-apa masalah kepada kita semua. Dan apa yang pendekatan yang kita ada tu adalah tambahan saja. That the most important is communication. Communication is the key between student and the lecturers.
Okay, thank you, Hafizuddin. Okay, I think we can have one more questions. This one, I think, obviously, looking at Prof. Pamjit, I think Prof. Pamjit, you have to answer this question, yeah, and also followed by Prof. Yati before we do the wrapping up of our webinars. Okay, now from YouTube question also from Prithink, yeah. Dear UiTM, please enhance digital skills among UiTM students continuously. Okay, this is a request, I think, from a student, yeah, asking to enhance digital skills among UiTM students continuously. I will not be asking the answer, is it yes or no, but I will say that if we are supposed to do this, what will be your suggestion on enhancing the digital skill among the UiTM student? Prof. Amjid, over to you.
Okay, there are two perspectives on it. Agree, we are all thrown into this COVID. Previously, Prof. Nur Azia always say blended learning very important. Paramjit always say ta. But currently now, all of us are inside. You like it, I don't like it, all must pursue. So I'm sure you see ILD, bahagian HEA always are having these digital skills. They're having every time ready. You tengok dalam kalender tahunan kita ada banyak sekali.
I think that one is for lecturers.
Yeah, no, I'm talking for lecturers also and for students also. Now, they must have especially for students also. Maybe, I think the student leaders must take the responsibility also. Students probably work with the management, work with ILD or whoever it is, have for students also. I think, like you say, student leader is very important, right? Work with the management, how to create this type of what is lacking digital skills. My question, one more, just now, I have to say this question because I'm a little bit disturbed when you say students are malu. If students are malu in the class, how are they going to be leaders of tomorrow? I think that's a very big issue. I think that Hafiz and Akram, you all must do something about it. If within the class, students are malu, within the class, I'm very concerned when they come up from the class, what will happen? So there are two. When I heard that, I know it's a fact. It's a fact. What the students can do to help the university to overcome this problem. I think you all are seeing this problem. One, a digital skills, the one can be done because the bagian top management are doing for us, ILD doing for us. You can share hand in hand with the ILD to do for students what are the required skills or whatever. But my question, go back to your, if students are malu in the class, how to overcome this kemaluan? So that they can be leaders of tomorrow. I'm very worried about this one. Sorry lah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, right. Okay, now Prof. Nur Hayati.
Okay, Prof. I think similarly, like Prof. Pamjit mentioned, it is very important, for students, especially MPP, representing as a whole students, to have a look, because I think at the moment, when we are talking on the technology, we can refer to, for example, our LMS. Of course, we do have UFuture, but at the same time, we may also use other LMS in the future, and at the same time, when we refer to video conferencing, sometimes student I heard, when we keep changing, also they actually mention that they don't really, feel comfort. It means, it is very important for student to adopt and adapt with situation, because at the moment when we say that, the future generations, it's not only the professors or lecturer, a student also, need to adjust academically. So it means if you need all those digital technology, to cope with that one, so you may highlight. I think you can connect directly with HEP team, and I believe HEP team, Prof. Sazli, our TNC HEP, and at the moment juga memegang memangku TNC AA juga. Okay, jadinya can connect directly with the ILD so that we can also develop program for student. Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Okay, I think we are past 12, 4 minutes past 12 already. Yeah, I think it's about time to have one question if any of the participants here would like to ask the question live. Yeah. Any live question from the participants? I think WebEx here recorded about 95 participants. If we were open to one live questions that you would like to ask personally. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, I think a bit, maybe shy also. Yeah. Okay, I hope they are not shy, but I think the webinar, okay, has come to the end. But before that, let us just make some rumusan conclusion from the webinar. Yeah, I think though we are trying to answer the question of what has not changed or what has to change during these times of COVID-19, the ODL. But one thing that we are very sure, the conclusion from this webinar is that each one of the stakeholders have their role. Students have their role, lecturers have their role, the management have their role, okay? And also the other stakeholders. Each must be clear of what they need to do, yeah? And each has to play their role. Lecturer has to inspire students. Student must know that they have all these values, belief, and philosophy of teaching, what is the value of education for them. And the management also has to put in place some of the initiative to ensure that the quality is being delivered in educating. Yeah. So basically, the whole thing that gel up all these stakeholders together is communication. Yeah. Students need to communicate with their lecturers. The lecturer has to communicate with the management to know what is happening currently. If there are any problems, then communication must be there. Yeah. And we know that we are in one situation, yeah, which everybody needs to change. But we also realize that the philosophy of teaching, the values of teaching, of education remains, the mood are changing, the context is changing, but the belief and also the values, the philosophy of educating remains remains the same, unchanged. Yeah. So with that, we would like to thank all the panelists for their valuable time and input. Thank you also to the students' representative. Yeah, we love to hear from you. And somebody text me personally saying that sebenarnya tak cukup, they want to hear more. Yeah, but I think for now it is a good start. Maybe we can have follow-up webinars. They want to know more from Prof. Pamjit. So Prof. Pamjit, I think you ought to have one seminar all to yourself for 2 hours to, to do a reflection. Let me go back and check the sentence. To look into the perception of teaching and the reflection of reality to be shared to all the warga UiTM. Yeah. Okay. With that, thank you also to the hardworking, committed committee by Encik Muhammad Fadil and also Ayuni. Yeah. And also thank you to Majlis Professor UiTM for this initiative. We wish all of you well, stay safe, and hopefully whatever has been discussed here, okay, are beneficial, and we can take all the knowledge with us and inspire all our students in our teaching and learning. Okay, with that, I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and stay safe. Happy lunching, everybody. Thank you.
Prof boleh ambil gambar ramai-ramai Prof?
Ya, jom. Okey. Betul ke ada word lunching tu? Lunching.
Satu, dua, tiga. Okey, page yang kedua. Satu, dua, tiga. Page yang ketiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Alright, itu saja.
Terima kasih semua. Terima kasih Prof. Haryani,
I think
Prof. Sazali and all, Hafiz.
Hafiz, Akram, I think
Akram.
you all must have one with the other student on issue of